Hello, welcome to the Small Craft Advisory. I'm Annie Noble, and today we have with us artist Brad Beagle. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you, Annie.
It's nice to have you with us.
It's a pleasure.
Good. Brad is an artist of a variety of mediums and styles, and also what's unique about Brad is that he is a member of a family of artists, about 4 generations of artists. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
Tell us about your family. How did this all begin?
Well, it starts with my grandparents, my father's father and my mother's father, both artists. My mother's father was a cartoonist and did ships in a bottle, things of that nature. My father's father, he was a barber, but in the back was a studio. And I used to love to go in the back when we went back, and this was in Findlay, Ohio, and I would go back in the studio while he was working, cutting hair, and I just loved it. I think that's where it kind of started for me. I really didn't get into art until years later, but I think that's probably where it began, the smell and the wood chips, the linseed oil, all that.
Wow.
It was
And
neat.
when did your family come to this area?
My dad was in the Air Force. We got here about 1959. I was 2, and we've been here ever since.
Ever since. Wow. So you have, well, the members of your family, there's a variety of mediums that everyone works in. Is that correct? Give us some examples.
Yeah, there's everybody seems to branch out. Photography, oils, pastels, sculpture, abstract, and not just one thing. Everybody seems to be into a lot of different different areas. I don't know why that is. I know why it is for me. I tend to get a little, I don't know if bored's the right word, but I get a little antsy working on one medium, so I like to go on to something else and help keep my interest.
Well, sounds like a very interesting family. I'm sure discussions around the dinner table were always very lively as well. But anyway, there's something else I want everyone to know about, and that is the exhibit that's taking place now at the Bourne Library. It's called Clanworks, and it features the Beagle family, or I'm sure there's many other names as well tied in there, but
True, yeah.
Brad's family, and 4 generations of the Beagle family artists.
Correct.
Is that correct? Anything else you'd like to tell us about that?
Just that it's been a real experience. It's for most of us, it's our first time having so much exposure of our stuff. A lot of it has been done over the years, mostly just for our own love of doing it, and also for gifts to give to each other. And this is nice. You know, my sister's who lives up in Maine, she's worked a lot in trying to get her stuff out there, and I've done a little bit. So it's been a great opportunity. You know.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, we have a chance right now to look at some of those pieces. And we're going to look now at the monitor of the pieces that are now at the Bourne Library. The first piece we have here is a still life. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
This was done by my father's father, my grandfather. I'm not really sure of the medium. I think it's pastel, but I'm not positive. He liked to work also in a variety of mediums. He carved, you know, he loved to work in oils and acrylics and pastels. He's a pretty neat guy. I like this one too. The colors are nice.
Yeah, they're very vivid. He also worked in 3 dimensions, didn't he do woodworking?
Yes,
I think the next piece is well, let's take a look and see what the next piece is. Is this also by your grandfather?
This is also by my grandfather, yes.
Okay.
And again, I'm not really sure the medium. What he did it on looks almost like a screen, a speaker cover. That's the material.
It's textured,
it seems like.
yeah.
Right.
It has a textured canvas, yeah. It's quite unusual. Very, very unusual piece.
Yeah, he liked to experiment. He liked to try different things. I always enjoyed that about him.
Wonderful. Okay, let's look at the next piece. Ah, this is one of yours.
Right.
Tell us about this.
This is acrylic, and it's a fisherman.
It's a fisherman. It's very penetrating. I mean, the eyes and so forth. I mean, it's quite a powerful piece.
I don't know, he was one of I think he was the 4th one that I tried, and for some reason the first few really came out with those eyes. I'm not really sure why.
Well, you have a series of these at the exhibit, and this is one of the more mesmerizing pieces, I think. And also what's nice about this series is the framing that you've done, incorporating mixed media and all kinds of things in there.
I've enjoyed that a lot. I did that with, oh, here we go. This is my nephew, Jeff. This is oil. on canvas. And he works in a variety. He does some leather work and works with some pastels, a little bit of photography. And,
Can you describe this image? It might be a little bit hard to look at the detail.
It's he had done. It's funny because he had done two of them. One was a castle in the sky. This one is his castle by the sea.
Okay.
And again, I like his clouds especially.
Yes, wonderful image, very fanciful. We have another piece by him here.
This is, I think this is also oil, and that's some examples hanging off the framework of his leather work. And the turtle shell is a rattle of some sort.
So he's studied a lot of Native American lore, is that correct? He's incorporated a lot of that into his work?
He's real interested in that, yeah. And he's...
So a lot of that symbolism here.
Yeah, he's read a lot about it and studies it.
It's wonderful. I like the pieces coming out of the art itself and incorporating into the frame. That's very nice. Ah, we have here. Okay, what is this? Can you tell us about this?
This is one of the other areas I work in is miniature scenes. This was sort of my tribute to the death of the drive-in.
Ah, yes.
Sad to see it go.
Yeah, and you also, another unique feature of your work is the fact that you write poetry as well. And some of these pieces of Brad's poetry are displayed with his visual artwork. And so if you go to the library, you can enjoy both of them, and it will give you much deeper insight, I believe. And I'd like to read this particular poem that goes with this piece, and it's called Drive In, Fade Out. It says, window to the world, mirror of life, bigger than life. Portal to worlds beyond, door to endless possibilities. Exit to new realities. Playground of the moviegoer. Meeting place, eating place, stepping stone of growing up, full of bad food, B-movies, and backseat love affairs, with boundaries shaped like open arms, and a name in which is a welcome in itself, you have offered comfort and entertainment to generations. But alas, dear friend, you have fallen by the wayside, forgotten for now, maybe never to return. So while our human interest flies, I strain to hear applause, and as tradition slowly dies, I think of you and pause. They've boarded up your movie shack, your lights out long ago, with credits run you fade to black. We've seen the final show. It really is a landmark of culture, our culture, that's past.
I think so. It always meant a lot to me when I was going as a young child. It was exciting, this huge screen that was bigger than life. And then as a teenager, it was a meeting place to gather with your friends. And
it really was. And something of the past, nobody goes anymore.
No, they're going. They're
gone.
they're dying out.
Yeah. Well, you've really stated it very eloquently. Yeah, I love that piece. That's wonderful. All right, back to the monitor again. We have a photograph. And whose is this?
This is done by Kendra Bond. She's a friend of my nephew Jeff's, and I've seen a lot of her photography. She's got a real good eye, natural eye, no schooling, just gets out there and does it.
This is an amazing piece, and I don't know if the camera can get it quite well enough, but this is a wildlife. This is a deer standing in the forest and looking right into the lens. It's really quite amazing. She must also be quite a naturalist as well, I assume.
She is, yeah. She is very much so. And she, her favorite subject is horses. She's got, I guess, about 20,000 pictures in stock of horses that she deals with different magazines and whatnot.
Oh, wonderful.
But she just has I don't know, a natural eye.
I'd say so. Let's see the next piece. Okay. Oh, this is another photograph, but of a different relative. Is that right?
We're correct. This is my niece, Erin Daniels. She, this is what she's into lately, is her photography, which is why we stress that. She's also done a variety of things, oils, pen and ink, batik.
She does very nice batik. I've seen her work, but this is, I particularly like this piece. I like architectural detail, and she does have a very nice eye for detail and composition, so I enjoy her photographs as well.
Yeah, I like them too.
We have another one of hers, I think, another photograph. There it is. Okay. What is this? Country road? A lane?
Actually, I think it's the driveway to my sister's house, her mother.
Oh, okay. Okay. Beautiful black and white photography.
Yeah, she does well. She's also got a good eye for it.
Yeah, she does.
And I like black and white too. It tends to simplify things. We go more for structure. And
I agree entirely, yeah. It leaves a lot more to the imagination, I think. It says a lot more. Yeah.
As an art, anyway. I mean,
as an art
color
form.
photography
Yes.
is nice too.
Oh, and here we have the bunny. Tell us about this. I love this bunny.
This is my oldest niece, Christy Jeglinski. She had done this for my sister Sandy when she was a young girl. I'm not sure how old she was, but she was pretty young.
But the artist now is a young woman, is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's 27 now,
Okay. Yeah,
and does some real nice work in her own right also.
That's delightful. This is also by her.
This is by Christy also, yeah, some cross-stitch that she did for my son Zachary when he was born.
I see. Okay, we have some of Zachary's work coming up too as well. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There's
All right.
Zachary's work, the budding young artist. And what have we here? Is this a self-portrait on the right?
On the right, I believe, is pen on paper,
Okay.
and on the left is acrylic on wood. This is some of his work when we go down in the workshop and Dad wants to work on a project. Zach likes to work by my side.
You work together.
Yeah, we do.
That's great.
Yeah, I set him up on his chair and puts his smock on, and
Does he critique your work?
he does.
Does he?
Yeah, he does, and he likes most of it.
Yeah.
The paintings, especially when they were first started, you've just got the basic foundation and the sketch. He doesn't like those. They
really?
They seem to have a scary effect on him. But then as they get farther on, he oh, okay, Dad, that's cool.
That's okay.
Yeah,
So
he
he's
likes
your
it.
guide.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What's this piece that we have here?
This is some stuff I did on tiles, bathroom tiles. I use a paint pen and then etch it to, or scratch off the paint actually off the tile to get the thinner lines.
Now these, when you see them at the exhibit, you'll see they look amazingly like scrimshaw because of the fine detail and the.
Yeah, I've had some people mention that.
Yeah.
And this is where I first started with the accessories, the framing and the accessories to go along with the picture.
Oh, really? Oh, so you started doing this a long time ago, right? Because this is.
The tiles back in '92.
Yeah, or
I did
breaking
the
away
tiles.
from a standard frame.
Right.
That's a
Right.
nice trademark you have. And this is another artist. Who is this?
This is my brother-in-law. He's married to my oldest sister, Penny. This is Ralph Cook. This is something he did in high school. I believe it's pastel. And he's got a touch that.
There's a lot of symbolism going on here. There's an eagle in flight, there's an eye, there's a trees, all kinds of, it's a wonderful composition. Is there a, I don't know if you can speak for him or not, is there, maybe you can, is there something behind this?
No, actually we've never talked about the painting, so I don't know what his thoughts were on it. He seems to have a natural talent. Again, he took a little bit in high school, but other than that he hasn't had any training. And he's the kind of person that could draw something out of his mind. Which is,
Wonderful.
I think, is hard.
Very powerful, nice piece. This is also by him?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This was, I believe it's pencil paper, and really, this picture doesn't really pick it up, but the detail in this is amazing.
Yes,
It's almost
it
like
is.
pointillism. It's pretty incredible.
That's like an imaginary castle or some kind of structure is
yeah.
what the image is. So he's really very versatile. He can work very detailed and also very bold and well,
He
with
seems to
color.
be,
and,
yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, and look at this. We have wonderful shaker boxes.
This is my sister Sandy, who lives up in Maine. Her partner, they both caretake at a museum, and this is some of the woodwork that he does.
Wonderful.
With shaker furniture. This is what he seems to have chosen.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Very nicely detailed, and you really have to go to the Bourne Library to pick up the details and appreciate them. This is another very striking image photography. This is by...
This is also by, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention his name. It's Kevin Dunham
Kevin,
is
yes. Okay.
the man who did the shaker boxes previously.
Okay.
And this is also an example of some of his photography. He caught my sister in silhouette, and I think it came out really nice.
Very striking, yeah. Yeah, I like that piece.
He gets some good shots up in Maine, too. Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. Yeah, and this is by your sister?
My sister Sandy,
Yes,
yes. Up in,
And this is called sheep shearing?
I think that's what, yeah, shearing sheep or sheep shearing. Right.
Shearing sheep. And it's interesting because the people have no faces. And was there a significance to that? Or
I don't know if there was or not. She doesn't particularly like the painting. I loved it the first time I saw it. I love the roughness about it and the fact that they'd have no faces.
Yeah.
I think it's wild.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's one of my favorites. We have another piece by her, this one with it, which actually is a composition of many smaller pieces behind an old window from an architectural detail here that's become a piece of art now. Can you tell us about this?
This is the individual pieces are a series of cards that she's done pen and ink drawings, and she's had them printed and made into cards. And she got the idea to separate them and put them behind this window. I think it's such a neat idea. I really love it.
They're wonderful. Yeah, I really love it too.
I'm sorry. She calls it windows to the past.
Windows to the past. Oh, that's
so I think
great.
it's great.
Yeah, because these are scenes from the Living Museum where she works. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, so
right.
they really are windows to the past, or scenes from the past.
Right. It's an 18th century French logging camp, and they've done they've done a real good job of recreating the life up there.
Oh, it's fantastic. And she's represented it very well, so that it can.
I think so. Yeah, and she and her partner Kevin. I mean, they live up there. There's no electricity, no phone. You know.
Oh wow.
The water's pumped up.
Oh, they're
to a
really
tank,
living it, aren't they? Wow.
Just about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They have access to some modern conveniences, but they choose not to use them. So they.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah, it's neat.
Oh, sounds fascinating. I have to take a visit up there as well. Oh, and what have we here? This is a delightful piece. Is this a card that someone did, or a gift, or something?
This was a gift to my sister Sandy from my mother's father, my grandfather, our grandfather.
It's delightful.
That was an example of some of his cartoon-like drawing.
Yeah, very playful, very delightful, yeah. What else do we have here? Let's see. We have a different art form here, which is writing, and this is your mother's, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And what is this?
This is a first chapter of a short story that she's been trying to complete, and we're pushing her, and we're going to get her to do it. She's been doing it off and on for about probably close to 30 years.
It's a children's story, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, and she's got quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But I just can't seem to get them finished, and so we're gonna get her going.
Good, good. Yeah. Encourage her to put them on paper. Wonderful. And what's this piece?
This is by my oldest sister Penny. This is a cross stitch. I told her I'd get it right.
Okay, it's important. Cross stitch and not crewel or something else.
Well,
it's
yeah,
cross
to me everything's needlepoint.
Okay, well,
but
no,
that's
no,
not
it's
true.
not. Okay,
that's not true.
cross stitch. Okay.
No, she does a real good job at this, and then she'll hunt for just the right frame. She does a good job. She's a very accomplished seamstress. I think I don't know if it's the next shot, but on this, here we go.
Oh, what's this? Maybe another one. We'll find it. This is a very curious piece. What is this?
A footstool.
A footstool, but it rocks.
Yes.
I've never seen a rocking footstool.
Yes.
And this is made by your grandfather, is that right?
No, this was made by my father.
Your
my
father?
dad. Yep,
Okay.
James Beagle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know where he came up with the idea, if it was...
It's a very novel idea. So you just sit in a chair and kind of...
yeah, it fits to your height and your angle and...
Oh, so it's more like an adjustable thing. You don't actually rock...
Well, I suppose you could rock it.
Oh,
I haven't seen that action.
Okay.
But it seems to, sort of adjustable.
That's great. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it. Oh, and who's this?
Okay, there's the bunny. That's what I was
the
getting
bunny.
to.
Okay.
That's some of the other work that my sister Penny does. And does well. I mean, I might be a little biased, but she really takes her time with it and hides her
These are
her
wonderful.
seams and stuffs evenly. And then she makes the clothes for the bunnies also. And she just does a really good job, I think.
They're wonderful, really quite beautiful, very well done. Yeah.
She also does a lot of decorative painting and dried flower arrangement. And
does she?
She's got a nice touch there. Sandy does that too.
Oh, really? I can't believe how versatile your family is. It's amazing. Well, here we are back into the studio here, and we have another one of your portraits. And this is called Woman in Mourning, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. It's a very powerful piece. Tell us about it.
This actually, I saw a photograph. Carrie Walensky was the photographer's name in National Geographic.
Uh-huh.
And she is a lady from Ghana who is in mourning.
Uh-huh.
And red is their color, and the headdress of leaves is to protect them from the spirits.
Uh-huh. Wow. Very striking. Very striking. And you can feel her grief, really, looking at it. It's really quite a powerful piece. And also in the studio here we have a three-dimensional piece of yours right behind us. Tell us about this.
This is called Castle by the Sea.
Uh-huh.
And it was a dried hunk of clay that I found, and I just started etching away at it.
So you actually carved this out of dry clay. That's a different approach than most sculptors would use.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I've tried working with wet clay, I guess you would call it, and I don't have very much success with it. I seem to do better once it's dried out and I can scrape away what I don't want. And it's like a lot of other things. I start something and I don't always have a definite image in mind, and it seems to take on a life of its own. I don't know how common. I guess that's pretty common. I've heard other people say that, and it's pretty exciting.
Well, it does have a life of its own, and this piece also, I don't know if the camera can see it, but it also has a piece of poetry to go along with it. And if you'd like to hear that, you have to visit the library, visit the exhibit yourself. And then we also have, the last piece we have here is a miniature. You have a series of miniatures at the library. This, please tell us about this piece.
Sure, I'd be glad to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cello and a guitar, and then I built a stage with spotlights and a curtain in the background just to have something to set them up on. These two pieces, I've had these since, I think, 1982 or 1983. I had taken a welding class, and part of it was learning how to gas weld, and I couldn't just do it on flat pieces. I had to try to do something. So that's where these came from.
I see. It's delightful. Brad, it's been a pleasure having you here, and thank you so much for telling us in such detail about all your work and your family's work. It's really, really a unique exhibit, and I hope that everyone who's watching will make the effort to go down and see it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Annie.
For further information, you can contact us at our toll-free number, 1-800-444-2992. Now back to our show with Annie Noble.
Today I have with me Mr. Dick Fitzgerald, the director of the Bourne Library. Welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Well, it's happy to be here, Ann.
Good.
It's a nice fall day.
It's a beautiful day, and we have a lovely children's garden here at the library, which is delightful. We have wonderful carved benches and beautiful shady trees. Can you tell us about this garden?
Sure. This is one of the many facets of the library here in Bourne. In particular, this is one area that's been a very special project for me. The Friends of the Library provided funding for this. We also had three major donors, the Cortese family, the Potts family, and the Heft family in the town of Bourne, which there's a plaque over here to my right, which indicates this is an outside reading area dedicated to the children of Bourne. What's unique about the area also is the benches we have outside here for the public to sit in. They were designed by a local artist, Alfie Glover of Katomet, and these were commissioned by the Friends, and we also had a grant from the Mass Arts Lottery Council to provide funding for these benches, and they're well used. People come here to have their lunch, to rest with a book from the library. We've had story hours for children out here, and it's one of the very many facets of the operation that the public has been able to enjoy. So we
It truly is delightful and very inviting. So people are free to come and enjoy it anytime they like?
Until about the end of October, early November, we have the benches out here. Then, of course, the weather closes in, and we store them for the winter to help preserve them. And then starting about early April, we bring them back out, and people are free to enjoy them. Whether the library is open or closed, this outside area is available. We do ask if they have lunch or a picnic just to take their own discards with them, and there is no trash barrel out here, so that's one thing the public has been cooperative about.
Well, another wonderful feature of the library that you have is a current art exhibit that's here now in the Galleria here. It's called Clanworks. Can you tell us how that got started?
Okay, well, The upstairs of the library, the mezzanine area, is open to local artists, photographers, craftspeople, and the way it works is for any given month of the year, we'll have an artist on exhibit up there, and they can have their work on display. They can have a reception if they'd like, and all they have to do is contact me at the library to set that up. Currently, Clanworks by the Beagle family is here through the month of September. Starting in November, there'll be the Cape Cod Woodturners Guild on display up there, a quilt display in April, a Christmas display for December, and usually the months of July and August gets pretty warm in the building, so we don't have too much doing up there. This exhibit area was funded from a grant by the Mass Lottery Arts Council to put up the picture hanging molding and the track lighting that's up on the mezzanine. And this has brought in many people in the community to view the works along with using the library. And I encourage any local artists, craftspeople to come in, take a look at the area, and if they're interested in showing some of their work, they don't have to be a Picasso or a Van Gogh. We want to encourage local talent to just get in touch with me at the library, and we can set up a mutually convenient date for an exhibition.
That's a wonderful, wonderful resource for local artists, and
Absolutely.
also for the community to enjoy the art as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And really, the library here is more than just a place for books. You have a variety of programs that are going on here as well. Is that right?
Right, that's correct. The library is not just a warehouse of books where somebody comes in and checks a book in and checks a book out. There's a lot going on. There are programs, committee meetings. We have different facets of the collection along with books. We have things on reference. The large print book collection is the largest on Cape Cod. Books on audio cassette for people commuting long distances to work. They can take out a book on audio cassette, learn a foreign language. Active programs for the children, story hours 3 times a week, and people wanting to get information on legal reference questions, medical reference questions. We have a great reference collection that's available for them. So we encourage local use of the facility, and we've just recently added more hours to the hours of operation.
Oh, that's
and
great.
where circulation is up, and we're working forward towards getting back to some sense of normalcy after a difficult financial period for the town.
Well, good. That's very encouraging.
So we're all excited about that, and come on down and use your public library.
Oh, terrific. Yes, I'm sure everyone will be very encouraged and excited about coming down. Thank you so much for being with us today and explaining all of this.
Well, happy to be here.
Okay, so please come and enjoy this wonderful resource. This is the Small Craft Advisory.
Degree. Penny was